What's up, Elsa?
Oh, you know Elsa? Oh,
Yeah.
Go then.
Okay.
Sorry. It's okay, Annie. We'll adjust. We're good.
Oh.
We'll use this.
I can move this over. Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey,
There you go.
Hey. So everybody got their rubrics back?
Okay.
Love to see your shine.
I know.
Alrighty, I am so sleep deprived. Oh man, I feel like a high school student. So if I'm a little bit weird, sorry.
That's okay, we all are.
Just hang in there with me. Like, woo! A little too much coffee.
Okay, except Cayman.
Except Cayman, who's never
Cayman's
here.
perfect.
No. So there is so true that there is always someone in every crowd. Hey, welcome. Here you go, Melanie. That always makes you feel like a fool.
Why?
Because you're just so cool all the time.
That won't be me.
Yeah, you'll always make me feel. Okay. So, I feel a little bit bad about today's lesson today because it's sort of a patchwork quilt of finishing up grammar day. I really want to hone in on paragraphing because my goal before you leave me, which is not that long away, is that you really at least know how to write a paragraph really, really well. It's a good goal, okay? So we're going to try to cover those two things, and then I also need to introduce the fiction unit that we're going to spend the last couple of weeks working on, which is just fun. It's easy. The hardest part about it is that you're going to have to be open with your classmates about something you've written, which actually is not easy, but it's easy, and at least it's not going to take a lot of time with homework. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the end of the year, and then of course in class exam. This is Josh. Josh is just observing me today. He's observing me, so he's going to give all the criticism of my teaching afterwards. I'm just kidding. But anyway, Josh, Andy, Nadine, Rebecca, Annalisa, Bethany, Lexi, Anne-Marie, Cayman, Brian, and Madeline. And then Elsa on the computer. Alrighty.
These are my usage things.
Hang on to them. We're gonna do
Oh,
that.
please, no.
Alright.
Wait, what?
Usage, the giant pack of homework that I
That's
have
so
done.
hard to do it. A while.
No, I'm not collecting it.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, you don't want to read that.
No, I don't want to read that. No. Alrighty, so I actually remembered a quote late last night. I dug out my quote box. And since we are moving into a non-fiction unit, or fiction unit rather, and those are the kinds of mistakes I'm going to be making all day. I've picked something that relates to art, but really all writing is art. So even when we work on argumentative paragraphing today, it's still art. Fine art is that in which the hand, that's the body, the head, the logic, and the heart go together. John Ruskin. So let's go ahead and review our triangle, which is sort of the the theme of my class. Does anybody remember what these two were? Doesn't matter if you do left or right.
Ethos and pathos.
No.
And logos.
Ethos and logos.
Oh, he
Yes.
was just doing Aristotle's triangle, not Mrs. Foster's triangle.
Yes, sorry, I don't like Aristotle because he does. I mean, I do like Aristotle. Don't say I didn't like Aristotle. But he really doesn't like pathos, and I actually think it's the crown because you take your body, your mind, and if you unite those things together and you use the body and the mind appropriately, that allows you to have a heart that is balanced, and your pathos is actually one of the most persuasive elements of who we are, and really how the Lord speaks to us about how we should speak to others as well, using these things to reach this.
Isn't it more soul? Because like the mind, body, and soul type.
Yeah, pathos, soul. So there is an argument that there are four parts, and that the soul is another
I
part.
mean, like
But
because I've seen on like this YMCA shirt like mind, body, and soul on the triangle.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't steal this from the YMCA, but yes, yeah. You could certainly put soul in here. It fits in this realm.
Is it the same? It's the same as the heart then?
I don't think it's the same. I think it's a little bit of all of this. I think the soul is something that is sort of an overarching thing. But that's my perspective. But anyway, there are people who would put it just here too. And it does fit a lot there. Alrighty. So that is just a review. Talking about fine art.
What was last name? I can't
Oh, Ruskin. Oh, wow. Yeah.
It looks like
Horrible.
Rue Wayland.
Ruskin. He was a
Yeah, that's what I
Victorian writer.
Okay, thank
Can you spell it one more time? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, R-U-S. This is supposed to be a K.
Okay.
K-I-N. I'll go back and do some of my cursive.
K-I-N.
K-I-N. Yeah. Alrighty. Alright, so let's just take a look at some of our grammar review, first of all. Couldn't find the key. Oh, wait, no, it isn't the key. So I couldn't get that one answered. But I do want to go over some of the homework with the usage. So,
I didn't write whole definitions. I just like said the differences.
you
I
can
did
follow
like
along if you want. Fine, I don't
I
care. Alright, first of all, were there any, I just want to go through and find out, any that you didn't know that you were kind of surprised about?
Yes.
Alrighty, so, give me an example, Rebecca, one that you were like, oh,
One? Okay, let's see here.
you just pick one that was,
Particularly
Particularly moving to you.
Yeah, who does that? I was
No
like,
one
looking
uses
at that, I was like,
The
no one uses
definitions
helpful.
sounded exactly the same.
Wait, what was
Dude.
helpful?
so healthful is something that improves your health, right? And healthy is someone who is possessing health.
Wait, what number is that?
It's number 28. So if you're looking, okay, let me give you an example. It is healthful for Cam to take his medicine. It improves his health, but I would not say that Cam is a healthy kid. Does that make
I
sense?
see.
The difference
Yeah.
between those two?
Yeah.
But you'd say Maggie is a healthy kid. Does that make sense? So there is a difference. We don't often use the word healthful anymore, but I put it there because we misuse healthy a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's healthy for you.
Whole
Yeah.
something.
Whole grains are healthy for you, that kind of
Yeah, that's
thing.
why we don't.
They're actually supposed to be saying it's healthful for you,
Okay.
improving your health.
Okay.
So that's why that one's there. Alrighty, another one that y'all were surprised about.
Faint and feign and faint. I never
Yeah, I
heard
didn't
the
know
last
what the
one.
last one was. Faint.
Faint. So that's an old word. You'll read that in Shakespeare sometimes. If you are faking, essentially.
Wait, what's the difference?
Is
between
it like a
faint
noun?
and
Is it
Sorry,
like an
faint
act?
is an activity that is false. So
So it's an act of feigning.
Feeling.
it's an act. So you would say faint. It's a feint. Feign is the actual action, the verb. And then of course faint.
Could you tell me the difference between compare to and compare with and different from and different than?
I looked it up.
Mm.
It said,
Okay, man, go ahead.
compare to is used to assert two things that are alike, and compare with is used to place two things side by side to view the similarities and differences. So I saw. I looked at.
That's the same.
I know, but
Wait.
No, it's the examples help. So the example I have for compare to is if you compared life to a pilgrimage, they're different. It's more of a metaphor, saying here's one thing and another thing. They're different orders, different realms. But if you are comparing with, you would say something like Congress is the same thing as British Parliament. That was one of the examples I found online that was clarifying.
Yeah.
You see how they're the same thing. They're in the same group context. Compare to, compare. Different from and different than. Okay, all I have here, what you guys can correct me if you found more, is that different from is used formally rather than different than. Did you guys find anything else that was helpful there? In
I
other words,
thought,
try to use different from when you're writing. But.
I thought like different from was like if you're saying like taking one person out of a larger group and saying like they're different from the rest. And I thought like different than was like comparing to like
two things. I think we do use it colloquially like
Because that's
that.
what I was thinking. That's
Mhm.
what I use.
That would be how I would speak
Right.
mostly.
Okay.
But what anyway, what I have for my usage book is that we prefer different from in writing. Some of these are getting a little antiquated too. Let's be honest, right? Things do change. Alrighty. Anything else that you were surprised by?
Disinterested and uninterested. If they have the same definition in a dictionary.
What number is that?
21.
It's 21. For the Bible.
I got the same thing too.
Oh, and of course I didn't look this one up. Let me remind myself.
My word is one's not a word.
I had.
Well,
both.
whenever I do that, I'm writing, I'm like, which one is it? I look it up and I'm like, one of them is not actually a word.
Did anybody look this one up? Otherwise, I might.
Yeah,
go.
but
Wait,
it's
what
the
word
same
is
thing.
it?
Wait, which one?
Disinterested and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I said
uninterested.
the first one was like not interested, or no interest in something, and then the next one was not concerned about someone or something, which is like basically the same. Like, why do we have two?
I say uninterested. I think.
Well, maybe if that's correct, I'm gonna look this one up at home again.
It's probably.
You would say you are disinterested in learning about Picasso. You have not really an interest in learning about him, but I am uninterested in the fact that you fell and broke your leg. I don't care.
Oh, I did the same thing. So I was right then.
Except for hopefully you would care, but you know what I'm saying. One's more heart related.
So is uninterested more of like a negative type of thing?
I guess you would say that it has a negative connotation, not denotation. But if you're uninterested, if you don't care about someone or something, that's kind of a horrible thing.
So would it be right to say I am uninterested in the idea of flying into the sun in a rocket?
No, you would say I am uninterested in the idea of you flying into the sun in a rocket. I don't care if you want to. I don't care if you want to go blow yourself up in the sun. Whatever. But I would say I am disinterested in flying in a rocket into the sun because I don't want to blow up. So I have no interest in that. All right. Anything else?
Oh, there's lots that I was just like.
Yeah. Immigrate and immigrate.
Yeah. So that's coming to the new country, going out of a country. So
I thought that was a cool distinction.
It is a good
Yeah,
distinction to know. I emigrated from Canada. I immigrated to the United States.
That's cool.
Okay. And you'll see that. So when they talk about immigrants, they're talking about people that have come into a new country, right? And so if you're talking about leaving it, then you would say emigrants, which is it is an actual word.
Yeah.
Intra and intra, like, I
That was
don't
cool.
think intra was a word.
Yeah. Well, it's nice if you say.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
often
yeah.
used as a just a prefix. But yeah, just make sure you've got inter is between and intra is among.
I said very.
That's what
Another one that I like to point out is imply and infer.
Oh,
I use
Um,
that one. Wait, I can explain.
Not-
Go ahead.
Oh, it's
Okay.
like the same.
So no, it's not the same. thing.
No,
It's-
I mean it's the same as the one before. It's like the reverse.
That's like
No, it's the same thing.
the person.
Let's let Annalisa explain imply and infer. This is number 30.
Like Lexi was saying, basically the same as immigrate versus emigrate, whereas the person saying something can imply something in their speech, but then whoever is hearing that infers what they are implying.
Right, exactly. Very good. One is the act of speaking or writing. So if you're writing an argument, then you imply, you can imply a conclusion and not directly state it. But if I am reading that, I'm inferring your implication. Whoa, yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
I didn't know what metal was.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it mean to to get involved in like when you're meddling?
Metal
No,
is-
Metal with the
not
double
metal.
D's.
But mental.
Metal, if you show your metal, that means
Wait,
you're
which
kind of
one is
spunky.
I got a person's ability to cope with.
Yeah, like I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's another old one, but it's a good word. We should use that one. For my husband's sake, I have to go over number 47 because he has college students that still don't get this.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Really?
My friends do it all the time and it bugs me.
It's hard. So there, THEIR is a possessive pronoun adjectives. Whose house is it? It's their house. There, THERE is a place. I am going to go there after school. And there with an apostrophe RE is a contraction of they are. So please, if you do not understand this, get this one in your brain.
Wait,
It's,
so
Yeah,
what's
it's the same.
your husband on?
because he can't handle that his students don't get this. He's like,
Oh.
college students should have
College
this
students?
down.
That's
Don't even get me started on these college students.
The same thing goes for were and we are. Like the found
Yes.
correct were to we are. Or like were.
Well, I've told you that I had a student that actually thought U was spelled the letter U from texting.
Are you kidding?
She wrote out a whole essay. No, she was in high school, but senior in high school, with the letter U.
I haven't read that paper before.
No, I was the only public school teacher that made them not write papers. So.
Wait, but she like never had any homework where she had to write.
No, they didn't mark it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I know.
It's pretty bad. Oh, another one that you should probably know, number 5, affect and effect. Affect with an A is to influence. Effect with an E is to produce. So the effect of the warmer weather is more mosquitoes. It produces more mosquitoes. Okay. See here. Yeah.
Could I get a copy of this?
Do you not have
it?
one?
Because I wasn't here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got it right here. It's
Yeah.
my fault. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
What's that?
It makes me happy when you say story.
Did I say it wrong again?
No, it's not
It's
wrong.
not. I like it.
It's just Canadian. And it's
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
I said probably a lot of words, but this one was sorry. 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 Sorry.
Well, do you
I
know
am
we
sorry, right?
we were so wrong. We could
I don't
convince
know.
Miss Wilson. Last year we
It's
convinced
close.
Miss Wilson completely that it's the circulatory system.
Yes.
And the
That's awesome.
respiratory system.
Yeah,
EJ was the
respiratory.
only one that tried to correct him. We're like, EJ, stop trying to trick her.
Like, stop confusing her, EJ.
Oh man. Don't they say respiratory system
Yeah.
in England though?
No, it's
Yeah, I
don't know.
respiratory.
Don't they say respiratory?
But we told him that's
Yeah.
how
That's
Americans
how
say
Americans say it too.
So it was normal.
So
That's
it's
great.
supposed to be respiratory.
It was so funny.
And then
Oh,
she just started
boy.
calling it
Really?
the R
Now I get
system
them
and
mixed
C
up.
system. I know, now I'm like,
Respiratory
what's your
actually is a
Respiratory.
Respiratory.
Okay, one other one that you all probably know, but I have to say circulatory. We'll go with circulatory. That I have to say to make sure you get is the amount and number one. And there's an easy rule of thumb for this. You use amount when you can't count it. You use number when you can. So if you're talking about how many M&Ms you have, you say I have this number of M&Ms. If you say how much air do I have, you say I have this amount of air. It's so easy. And just do that. It works 99.9% of the time, and the other 0.1% of the time, I mean, it's 1/2 point off your essay.
Wait, is
so.
amount just like for infinitives? So like amount of water or amount of calcium or amount of salt?
No, whatever. Even if it's if you can think of the antecedent that you're referring to, if it's not a countable noun, then
So-
use amount. Yeah,
But let's
like
so
I had a large amount of hair cut off.
the hair is like an infinitive, right? Because like you don't say a hair if you're unless if you're talking about like specific hair, or a salt unless if you're talking a specific type of salt. But like hair and salt are just very general terms. So whenever it's like that type of rule,
General
if you
terms,
don't,
you mean collective noun?
well, not. I don't mean that necessarily, but if there's like no a or an in front of a word, then you can use amount as like a more specific rule.
That is probably true, but I think you can still use a and an in front of some words that you would use amount with. Let me see if I can think of an example.
I like
No,
the
no.
rule better.
She has a nice grass. No. I was gonna say grass, but it needs to be grass yard.
You mean your finger
Well, anyway, think of it this way. If you're having a conversation, Andy, I see you got a haircut. Yeah, I got a lot of hair cut off. How much hair did I get cut off?
A certain
A
amount.
large amount. You wouldn't say a large number.
Not a large number.
Unless you're
right?
God, in which case you can count every hair, and so then you can
Right.
say a large number. But you're not God, so say an amount.
Yeah.
Moving on. Anyway, general rule of thumb.
I like your yellow and your yellow.
I do, yes. No, I almost wore red shoes too, but that would have been too much.
Aw,
Too much.
you should have. It was bright today.
Alrighty.
I already have done too much.
So, that was all we didn't cover last week. Yes, we did the grammar pages, we did the subordination. You are all nice and obedient now, subordinated. Okay, so already moved on. What's that?
That was a funny time.
That was a funny time, subordination.
We never finished our poetry.
I
That
know.
made me really sad.
I'm really bummed. Has everybody still have theirs? I actually
I do.
debated about trying to bring it in today. And then we'll probably get to it. In fact, while I'm thinking of it, bring your poetry stuff for next week. And depending on how the literary unit goes that we'll talk about here in a minute, we will.
Yeah, I'll make a copy.
We're not sharing it. Life will be tonight.
It's so
Sorry, I gave one to Josh because they didn't give us enough.
It's fine. We can.
Y'all share. Oh wait, hold on. Here.
Life will be tonight.
Do you mind sharing with Andy? Andy, can you just put yours in the middle, just because they may need this later on. So our school year is almost over.
Not the.
Okay. Okay, so one of the things that, like I said, I do not want you leaving me not knowing how to do is writing a reasonably good argumentative paragraph. So let's just review very quickly the basic structure. Does anybody remember the acronym?
Oh no.
Pepsi.
Oh.
Alrighty, and does anybody remember what P stands for, Cayman? Thank you, Cayman. Your voice has changed. Alrighty, and the E stands for Cayman.
No.
Example.
Explanation.
Oh my gosh.
Proof.
Support.
Signal.
Don't know.
We're bad at this.
And
You guys are terrible. No wonder we're reviewing. Alright, let's do some examples of signals. They are ways of saying I'm almost done with this idea. Yes, smoke signals, signs.
Wait, this is when you're writing a paper?
I would prefer words. Yes.
Drawings.
This.
The end of the year.
I'm just gonna quietly leave the room and you guys pretend like you're learning and okay.
Okay, back to the topic.
Signals, things like therefore or we don't really like
all the time.
we don't really like in conclusion anymore because you guys use
I don't
that.
like it.
But
I cannot stand it. Concludingly.
but conclusively is very nice.
Can you say concludingly? No.
No.
Sure.
Why not?
You can make up your own words.
Hey.
I want you.
Ultimately is nice, especially if you kind of enjoy superheroes. I feel like ultimately it's kind of got that superhero.
I couldn't do that.
Thus, fabulous. Obviously, one.
Like, obviously.
Clearly. And then you can use short phrases. Something like, this all sums up. Or,
That's terrible.
or, well, whatever you think is better. What would you do, Rebecca?
I would probably use clearly.
No, I meant a phrase.
Oh, phrase.
I've got a whole list of them at home. I didn't bring it.
Yeah.
No, we do not use
please,
these.
I'm not sure. I would normally use it one word.
Okay, I do want you to know that you can use multiple words. Sorry.
To summarize.
And yes,
To get to the end.
but to sum up, I suppose, or in summary are other ones. But you can also just take this and make it sound like, it's a little bit of the conclusion as well. So something like, the fact that juror number 1 and juror number 8 agreed shows, and that can be seen, you can kind of bring in this, in other words, your point restated, and this can sometimes blend together more.
Or,
And, yep, go ahead.
or if you're going from your where you refuse what your reputation.
Yeah.
You could say like, despite certain opinions about this, and then sort of go
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah. And if it's a long paragraph, sometimes your signal can even just be a whole sentence by itself. Or if it's just an awkward jump between two things and you feel like I need to really get. Remember we talked about paragraph hooks?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, those sorts of just stylistic elements that help blend it together. But this is the basic concept. Point, say what you're going to say. We call it a topic sentence. Usually you will have to explain that sentence. That's what this is. Every now and then you will not need the E, but usually there'll be some sort of further clarification required. Proof. Some of the examples of proof, just again, this is all review. You can have details here, quotations, enthymemes. Remember those from Logic? Alrighty.
What's the bad stuff from last year?
Statistics.
Wait, what
Logic.
That part I was done, 'cause I don't have enough room.
Yeah,
My
me
signal's put out the way. Not the way.
Personal experience.
Oh boy.
What?
Goals, etc., etc., etc. Fill up what you are arguing with lots of support in different ways. Signal, in other words, sometimes you'll have multiple proofs, sometimes you only have one. It's up to you as you're writing. Yes, Rebecca.
Yeah, we don't.
Enthymemes. Oh, really? Oh, I did it last year and the kids were like, oh, I'm so tired of these, so I didn't do it this year. Man. At least if I can't pull it up.
Maybe we just know them from a different
Is there like a song?
Because you don't.
In the meme.
There should be a song. E.
Like
And
a
for me.
song.
Say it again. I should have really
Alright.
Alright.
You're gonna finish reading around.
Okay.
Basketball too.
Enthymemes. You know what a syllogism is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the syllogism would be anything that promotes prosperity is good. The free enterprise system is something that promotes prosperity. Therefore, the free enterprise system is good. Right? That's the whole syllogism. And you can, I guess I should have this here too, actually, because you can include the whole syllogism in your proof. An enthymeme is not a syllogism. It is, sorry, you're being impatient.
Oh, it's where you leave one of them out.
That's right. It's where you leave one of
How can you have a
them
syllogism
out.
with only one proof? We already talked about this last year, remember? Last year when one
Oh,
of
you
the
have to make
students-
it up yourself. Oh, I'm so sick of this.
Yeah.
Alrighty, the enthymeme for what I just read is, or one of them would be, where would our country be today if it were not for our long tradition of free enterprise? So what have we left out? We've left out the concept that free enterprise promotes prosperity. Okay, we just kind of said, where would we be without it? Did I say that posterity? I'm sorry. I'm doing a lot of catechism with my kids right
No,
now.
I said it.
How can you use like polls to prove something?
Well, you can say, you can actually use personal opinion to prove something. You can say 98% of people say we should have bombed Syria for their chemical weapons attack. Therefore, we should have done it because most of the population wanted us to do it.
But that wouldn't relate to this current paper.
Yeah, that would be hard because, 100% of humans don't want to repent for their sins. So, yeah, probably can't use polls. Unless you maybe poll the Indians. So,
10%
So
of
like
all
that would
angels
be
say
from.
Satan was
Yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly.
So what?
Yeah,
so
that's
what?
a good
The proof for our paper would be what we did last week with like the.
Yes, like with 12 Angry Men, you could totally do a poll of all the people that have watched it and said, because, well, you've had a couple classes now that have, and just said how many of these people actually thought they made the right choice, and maybe you come up with a lot of them didn't, and that could be persuasive reasons. Alrighty, I just want to finish up here. Enthymemes, he must be happy because he is smiling all the time. We're missing that idea of happy people smile all
Or
the time.
smiling people.
Nuclear war is inevitable for our sworn enemy, Communist China now has the hydrogen bomb. Anyone who possesses hydrogen bombs will go to war.
To me, it sounds like they're just dumping by these people. Like,
Well,
hey,
yes, and that's the danger with them, because that can happen. So when you see someone persuading you that way, on the other side, you need to go back and say, wait, do I agree with that missing piece? So enthymemes can be used to confuse people.
right, because it just sounds like you're like, or would it be like, but it does kind of make you think that you have to find that missing.
Yes, yes, but they're not inappropriate to use. You can use
Right.
them, but you do need to be aware when you hear them. Wait, what are they leaving out? What maybe I don't agree with that. You know, a good example might be one that's used. See if I can construct it properly, but used by pro-abortion people would be something like, a woman has a right to take care of her own body. Well, I agree with that, absolutely. But that missing enthymeme of a fetus is a part of a woman's body. That part I don't agree with, but they've left that part.
But they love that.
Does that make
And
sense?
it's kind of, yeah.
And then it becomes something that we can all agree on. But so sometimes it can be used inappropriately. That doesn't mean you don't use it. You just think when you use it. You think what other people use it.
Thinking is hard.
It is exhausting. So after you've thought hard about your enthymeme, you can go and escape into a nice good book or something.
Do you have any suggestions? I have a lot.
Do you like mysteries?
I haven't read a
I'm in the
book.
middle of a mystery series from somebody called Hamish Macbeth. Alright, anyway, moving on. So let's talk about paragraphing. So this is just the big picture, okay, but what the handout that I've given you talks about some of the specific types of paragraphs that you can use. And I've got the patterns, sort of some 5 general patterns, and then take a look at those specific patterns. Does anything look familiar there?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Question followed by answer is what I.
Well, look down at the specific ones. This lady who wrote this book, I used this in college. She's not a classical writer. She is not in classical education. That's not her interest. But look what she has highlighted as the types of specific paragraphs. Do they look? Does anybody remember what these are called?
I don't know what they're
Starts with an T.
invention techniques.
They're invention techniques, or they're the topics that Aristotle put in his rhetoric book. So it's kind of neat to see that what goes around comes back around. No matter where you are in the writing field, these are the topics that you are usually discussing, ways to write. So it's kind of nice to see that. But let's take a make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Oh yeah, I have. The really important thing. The ultimate goal for your paragraphs is unity, and that's why I feel the pain of this particular lesson plan I've constructed, because it is so disunified as I go from grammar, and now we're going to write paragraphs, and then we're going to move on to talking about next week. That is not the goal for me as a teacher. The goal for me as a teacher is to begin with a quote that connects to the whole lesson. We go over what we're going to do, and then we do it, and it's all connected, interconnected together somehow. And then I conclude, tell you what you've learned, and give you your homework, which also connects to what we've just learned. The ideal lesson plan is fully cohesive and unified. Does that make sense? And in the same way, your paragraphs need to be fully cohesive and unified. So you begin by telling us what you're going to do, you do it, you remind us what you did, and everything within that little unit connects somehow to what you're talking about. And that's actually a lot harder than it sounds, because our minds are like Finding Dory. You know, we just grow attached to little things and sentences that we love, and we can't let them go even though we don't fit there anymore because we changed things. And I'm like, I just love it. It has to stay there. And so that can be very challenging if you grow fond of your writing. For some people who don't really care, it's a little bit easier. That doesn't make sense. Scratch. Alrighty, so here's some different ideas for helping you maintain unity in your paragraphs. The first pattern, I'm just going to read some examples. Emery, what's the first pattern? Where did I give you?
Generative sentence.
That's right. Alright, so you can, this is the same thing as your topic sentence, beginning with a generative sentence. Did I give you, sorry, did I say any details? Yes, lead and then give the idea that there's details to follow. So here's an example of what that would sound like. This is from True North, a memoir. Within hours of my arrival in September 1960, New York astonished and delighted me. So what's coming? Stuff about New York, astonishing and delighting. Okay, here we go. The astonishment was instant. You see how that's an explanation? I love it. Alrighty. Makes me happy all the way down the spine. Alrighty. I stepped from the plane at what is now called John F. Kennedy Airport, but was then called Idlewild, into a sea of water. My first encounter with an East Coast hurricane. The scene inside the airport resembled a Bruegel run wild. Sodden people lurched in all directions, colliding in a frantic search for lost luggage and non-existent taxis. Some laughed and told war stories of other major storms. Others interrogated all comers, anxious for news. Okay, end of paragraph. So that's sort of, you can give you an idea there how that would go, and it would continue on in a similar manner for the rest of the story. Another pattern is the second one came in, which I called, remind me, I don't have the hand up.
Question sentence followed by
Right, the interrogative. Sorry, interrogative. Great way to do a paragraph. Here, okay. An example. Open with a question that then will be followed by the answer. Alrighty. But do the new drugs cost too much? Probably. Chances are. Alright. The Clinton administration says they do, and in some cases the prices are astonishing. The current wholesale price for one patient's annual supply of Clozaril, a drug for treating schizophrenia, is about $4,000. Some people would call that a fair trade, considering that it saves more than $40,000 in annual hospital costs. Others call it price gouging. Centosor priced Centoxin, a promising treatment for often fatal septic shock, at more than $3,000 for each dose during its initial marketing. Negative test results shot down the drug, but not before the price set off a wave of outrage. And what I love particularly about that paragraph is the concluding sentence. It doesn't sound like the traditional concluding sentence, thus the drugs are too much. But do you see how it still wraps things up quite well, but it does lead you kind of into a nice little transition into what she's going to talk about later. That's the American way of health. All right. Commitment response pattern 3 was, maybe remind me. What
It was, begin with the first sentence of a narrative and signal that the rest of the story will follow.
Okay. One morning I arrived early at work and went into the bank lobby where the Negro porter was mopping. I stood at a counter and picked up the Memphis Commercial Appeal and began my free reading of the press. I came finally to the editorial page and saw an article dealing with one H.L. Mencken. I knew by hearsay that he was the editor of the American Mercury, but aside from that, I knew nothing about him. The article was a furious denunciation with one hot, short sentence. Mencken is a fool. And that's from a book called Black Boy by Richard Wright. Anyway, so there you've got a narrative, and that will probably continue on. When you're using narrative and argumentative papers, that often comes in your narratio. But there are times when you'll use a short story as a point of argument. The thing that you would do differently there is you're going to have to conclude with that final reminder, this is how it ties into my thesis. Does that make sense? So if you're using narrative within the arguments, make sure you don't just leave it at the story. Remind your readers, this is how it came. Okay, and then pattern 4 was that one. That was, I must be down to either quotation or downshifting. Quotation? Okay. All right, so quotation. Begin with a quotation. Quote, within the first hour after the attack at Pearl Harbor, Grace Tooley recalled, "It was evident that the Navy was dangerously crippled." So that gives you the topic. We're going to talk about the Navy. Okay. "And there was no way of knowing where the Japanese would stop. The president's butler, Alonzo Fields, recalls hearing snatches of a remarkable conversation between Harry Hopkins and the president that afternoon, in which they imagined the possibility of the invading Japanese armies driving inland from the west coast as far as Chicago. At that point, the president figured, since the United States was a country much like Russia in the vastness of its terrain, we could make the Japanese overextend their communication and supply lines and begin to force them back." And that's from No Ordinary Time. All right, and the last one that is downshifting from a general to particulars, and here's an example. "Every big Mississippi plantation was a fiefdom. The small hamlets that dot the map of the Delta were mostly plantation headquarters rather than conventional towns. Sharecroppers traded at a plantation-owned commissary, often in scrip rather than money. They prayed at plantation-owned Baptist churches. Their children walked, sometimes miles, to plantation-owned schools, usually 1 or 2 room buildings without heating or plumbing. Education ended with the 8th grade and was extremely casual until then. The textbooks were hand-me-downs from the white schools. The planter could and did shut down the schools whenever there was work to be done in the fields. Many sharecroppers remember going to school only when it rained." That's from the Promised Land. So those are other patterns. Now, just really quickly, reasoning from evidence. That's pretty basic. Assertion and support. Definition. We've covered that before. Cause and effect. Comparison. Remember these? Classification, narration, and then process is not often used in argumentative essays, but it is a topic. Okay. So, flip your paper over. Or use another piece of paper.
Oh.
Alright.
What is this for? Can you tell us?
You're just gonna write. I just want you to write a paragraph. And I'm gonna let you pick the topic.
Okay. Now it's good.
That's okay now? Alrighty, good. I want you to pick one of those patterns, one of the first 5 patterns, because we've covered a lot of the other ones, and these ones are a little bit more general, so they'll allow you to do it. But here's the crucial component. It has to be an argumentative paragraph. So
It's not an introduction.
it can't be an introduction, it can be a conclusion, and it needs to, you're gonna have some kind of thesis in your head that you're trying to argue, alright? It has to be argumentative.
Can it
Yes,
be from a paper
those
you
stories. No, you can't rewrite a paragraph. You have to come up with a new paragraph. If you are not able to come up with your own topic, I am happy to assign you a topic. But it can be anything as trite as the best color in the world is blank. And you can write a persuasive paper on whether or not blue is the best color or yellow is the best color.
Are we reading
Yellow
out
is
loud? Please say no.
I don't think we'll have time. No, I just want you to do it. Another good thing lesson plans include are guided practice and an independent practice. So this is the independent practice part, yeah.
Can you give me a topic? Something?
Sure.
Why don't you assign us all topics?
What's
Make it
Something?
no, something interesting. What is the hardest challenge in high school?
With me?
Yeah, pick it.
Okay.
And then defend why it's the
I'm not
hardest.
reading this.
Why it's the hardest thing. You're not reading out loud,
Okay.
so you're fine. Cayman, oh, you're a pastor's kid, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am too.
So either why is it so great to be a pastor's kid, or why is it so hard to be a pastor's kid?
Okay, wait, can
I
I
feel
do
like
that?
a whole.
Yeah.
You asked for it.
You asked. You don't have to do it. I was just coming up with something that would mean something.
Like why basketball? So what is
You
the
know,
greatest?
with you.
Did you say what is the greatest struggle in high school? Yeah.
Great, yes, the greatest struggle in high school. But if you want to be positive and talk about the greatest joy in high school, you can. I had such a horrible high school experience, so I assume that everybody else has too.
Can I do
I wish that I could remember.
Which is so funny, I went to do high school. What's that?
Can I do the worst
Sure,
Pause,
absolutely.
pause. If it's the worst struggle in high school and it's personal to me, how am I going to be convincing people if it's personal to me?
Well, you need to pick something that you want. Maybe you could say,
If it like
be
trying to
aware
convince
that
like
this
Billy
might happen.
Joe that like
How about you're talking to 8th graders and you're like, look, just know that this could be coming and you need to be aware of what's going to happen so that you can go to your mom.
Those
for help.
poor little
Yeah.
I don't know, I hate,
Yeah, my brother's coming in.
They're gonna be a freshman.
Oh,
your brother's going to be
Yeah.
So is my brother.
I'm not teaching him this year though, am I, in 8th grade?
I can't pick
No,
He's not a.
he takes the Monday classes.
Oh, he
And
does.
it's also at 7.
He's skipping a grade.
Oh, he's skipping. Oh.
He's so naturally gifted and so annoying because it puts no effort. Well, sometimes it's like he could graduate before me if he tried, which is really annoying. But really, he
You
doesn't
should
want to
try.
try.
I thought when I first just met him, I thought
Well,
he was like.
Let's get to work now, guys.
Alright.
Yeah.
I
New topic.
like
All right. How about what we were talking about at the Christmas party and why writing literature is better than writing argumentative essays. So an argumentative paragraph on why I love the irony. Write an argumentative paragraph on why we shouldn't write argumentative paragraphs.
Because they're not hard.
That's not fun.
What's that?
Nothing.
Okay. Sorry. Anybody else? Feel free, Josh. You don't have to.
I'm trying to think of other ones. The preacher's kid one is a little too deep.
A reputation paragraph? As long as it's argumentative. I don't care if it's proof or if it's reputation.
Any other ideas? I think the preacher's kid one.
Okay.
A little too deep.
Well,
Too much
too
for a
deep.
paragraph.
But like everyone thinks you're perfect when I first meet you, and then
Yes,
it's like we're not
they do.
perfect actually. When everyone gets mad at my dad, they get mad at me too. I'm like, thanks. Really? Yeah. I can't control anything.
Okay, I don't experience that. We all have very good preachers.
Yeah, that's
This is really good. And also, I know everything about him.
How about what's your favorite subject, Tina? What's your favorite subject?
When I did my
It's algebra.
Please do not say that. Please do not.
Why? Math is your favorite subject.
Math is like, oh,
I'm good at it. I'm not.
Oh, you don't like it?
I enjoy writing, honestly. But I don't want to do it.
You don't do your writing.
an
Okay.
argumentative
Honestly,
essay
what
on
about
why
sports?
Mrs. Fawcett.
True, I can
Why don't you do a paragraph on why younger kids should be careful about playing football because some of them are getting hurt, concussions and stuff like that, or why they should still play football and don't worry about the concussions, something like that. That's kind of a current thing.
Oh, wait, I have one.
Then, there you go. I'm glad to help you brainstorm.
Do I have my due? I thought you were
What about
There you go. Got pretty cool.
the most enjoyable or challenging thing about high school prom?
I've never been to a prom.
Party,
Okay, party,
something, get together,
We
dance.
don't have two.
I was thinking prom. I guess you guys aren't going to that. It's like the 12th grade.
Well,
It's 12th. Yeah.
We call it a prom. So.
it's a not prom.
Yeah. It's a not prom, with not days.
Well, not days, but people have
But you still dance, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not really a
How do my
It's a
meatballs are
formal.
really good.
It's a form.
Yes. Let's just get to work, guys. Good.
I know we're supposed to have. I'm getting my thesis.
Well,
Basically, it's me.
Guys, can you please do me a favor? Stop talking because I literally cannot think when there's noise. Just kidding.
That would be a good thing to write a paragraph on. So get started. Sorry guys, this is about Cam. Just so you know, Josh, I don't sit here on my phone all the time. I did have to make an exception.
This is headache. Whenever the person is doing it. I'm not talking.
on hold. Oh, no, no, Yeah, hi. I just need to make an appointment for my son Thomas Fawcett. Hopefully for this afternoon. He is a heart. Yeah, Fawcett is F as in Frank, AWCETT, and Thomas is the first. Yeah, June 10th, 2011. Yeah, well, it's not really, it's kind of innocuous. He's been vomiting pretty significantly for a week, but he's also lost over a pound, and because of his other conditions, we just wanted to bring him in and make sure that we're not missing anything. Yes, please. And Jeff Cleveland, if he's around, but if he's not, we'll see what else. Oh, Jeff Cleveland, if he's in today, I can't remember if he is. Okay. Yeah. Let's do Dr. Lisi because she's seen him before. It's at 2 o'clock. Okay, perfect. That's all we want. Okay, thank you. Bye. Like Dr. Lisi.
She's my dog.
Oh, she's so nice. What's sorry, I'm expecting you.
You're not gonna like my hair
Against me? I can't handle over.
No, not against you, never against you.
Okay.
Against Graham.
I have a question. This is a grammar question. If you have a sentence that's like the first part of it is a question and then it's like compound sentence, you come out as and, but then the second part is not a question, do you still put a question mark? I'm pretty positive you do.
So you have a compound sentence. The first part is interrogative, but the second part isn't. I wouldn't put those in a
Wouldn't put
compound
together.
sentence. I would leave them separate.
So
Because
that's
usually
not
you-
something you do.
Yeah, because usually you use the fanboys for intentionally to join things that should be joined together.
Okay.
So usually an interrogative requires an answer, and so rhythmically, you don't want
You
to
don't want-
join that with
okay.
something else. You want that to stand alone and then respond. It's like call and response kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Well, what happens if it's a question like at the beginning? Like the begins with the question, the question sentence followed by answer.
Hang on one second. Ask that again. I just got a text when I come back. Okay. What's up?
Like if you not exactly these examples, but like if you start your paragraph out with a question
Mm-hmm.
that is not necessarily going to be answered right then and there. I guess you wouldn't. Really
Well,
mind.
again,
You
the
wouldn't do
point
that.
of it is unity. So if it's a red herring, then don't use it. Now, if it is a rhetorical question that's just getting people thinking,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
then probably what you're saying underneath it will relate in some way to that rhetorical question. It just doesn't answer it.
Right.
So if it relates, that's fine.
But
if
then
it
you
does-
put the question mark at the end of that stuff.
Yeah, you always put a question mark at the end of a rhetorical question. Yep. Yep.
It's still a question.
All right. When do you guys get out of school at the end of the day?
But we're gonna
Well,
be here
3:30.
until 3:35.
They're
The lab.
Oh, but that wouldn't be true for the 11th graders.
No.
2:15 is it? They have to pick up stuff. Sorry for the yard sale, and now I'm gonna be at the doctor's, and I'm just trying to figure
I didn't bring anything.
Which is good.
But exactly, I feel like
How are we doing?
I have to say.
Okay.
Done?
Says it's
Cayman, are you done?
Oh, I might.
No, said.
What time was
My dad's response to me, would you like a medal or a chest of milk? Every time we brag. He said me. Did you manage to do it for you?
I don't know if you can.
Use the other thing.
You're going to read it yourself.
Look how long mine is.
Oh.
I hope I can read it.
I hope you can read it.
Can you read mine? I'm no good judge. Good job, Ian. Wow, way to start with him. Here you go.
This is alright.
I have more.
Oh, I finally finished The Outsiders. I never got a chance to tell you. I got halfway through and then it took me forever to finish it. But thanks, it's such a cool book. I enjoyed it a lot.
Awesome.
Kudos to hear the author. She really creates dialogue. It was really impressive with conversation. Hard to do. That's what she added at the end. Or something.
No.
Gonna be okay, Becky? Is your paragraph done? Annalisa, are you okay? That's great. Alright, try to round up the next maybe 2 sentences, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you
Keep
only
going.
have 2 sentences.
Round up your paragraph in the next 2 minutes, please. That will be 11:28 and 35 seconds. So if you guys don't go to prom, what are you going to do for your end of the year?
Isn't that the
There's
We're
homeschool.
having a party.
I'm going to-
Oh, you're having a party, good.
Oh, yep, guys. I was gonna talk to you today. We're having a party in my house. We're going to have a bonfire. and we're
What
gonna
day?
have a blast. We have to pick a day because I want everyone there. It's a long drive, but we have not had a party.
I will have
Like class party, us.
Oh,
We
I
haven't
think you were relating that to prom. I was like,
I was thinking, well, like an end of the year thing.
they have homeschool proms, like Zoe, like different stuff. like that.
Yes, and I was thinking for you
I
guys,
can't
not, you know, like another thing.
Like high.
But I wanted to go to my home.
Yeah, like just an end of year thing. So you should pick a day.
Yeah, we can do a day off.
Should we do it in dollars?
I don't know.
Once my summer starts,
I know, once summer starts.
Why don't you do it the Thursday after you're done?
I know. That's what I mean,
May
like when the seniors go away to the trip, the seniors go on their trip, before or after graduation, no?
I think after, just because it's gonna be nuts up
fail.
until
Yeah,
then.
then we also have a lot of
Audition.
piano. We have piano.
And then recital.
We have recital over there for doctors.
once we go on vacation,
Yeah, and we're hoping that we can actually go to
I
recital
won't
actually
even
need
be
be
here.
to be working
Yeah,
every single
probably
week at that.
internally.
Same.
We talked
And
about
like, it's a really long drive, so maybe somebody else can park.
Like,
But I want
very
everyone.
comedy.
All right, are we done? So that's 2 minutes and 35 seconds, right there.
Like, how is this funny?
Yeah, up in 30.
Now it's 38.
He
So
thinks this is funny. I'm pretty serious.
It is.
It's not funny.
Always frustrating when that happens.
Well, I guess-
Okay.
I guess
Now, I want
I'm
you to
not-
take
I'm
your
not
paragraph,
very
And I want you to read it out loud, but not out loud loud. So sort of like this.
Wait, what?
But
And
I
take
already
your
think it's
paragraph.
terrible.
Read it out loud like this.
Worse, I swear.
Okay.
Read it out loud like that, okay? Because if we all read it out loud like this, for the last 2 weeks of school, we are going. It's not going to work.
Why don't we
okay.
mix it up so no one can tell who's somebody else?
No, because I just
No, it's
promised
reading
that
mine.
no one would read them but themselves, him or herself.
Like forever.
Forever. You can destroy this when we're done class today if you want.
But it's
So.
right in the back of this.
Very simple instructions. All I'm asking you to do is to take your paragraph and read it out loud in a very quiet whisper. I think we can handle that. Let's do that. As you're reading, circle anything you don't like that sounds like. Don't just circle the whole paragraph. No. Circle a verb, or that sentence sounds awkward, or I don't think I spelled that right. Whatever.
Oh, spelling?
Okay. Then
Whichever you don't like. Whatever.
Thank you. I have a question. I started mine out as a story. You know how one of the examples like
The narrative. Yeah.
narrative? But I had like dialogue.
Yeah, that's tricky. Keep it in one paragraph. Hard to do it.
But it wasn't, there was no response. Like that was
Oh.
my thing. Like one person asked a question, another person asked a question of the one girl. And then she that set the stage, and then we went into what she did with all those questions.
Okay.
Or how
So
the,
that's not really dialogue.
right, so that's, it's not really dialogue. That's why I was saying it's confusing. Like they were talking, asking questions, but not really.
But what are you asking? Will you still use a question mark?
No, like should it be dialogue? Should it be conversation?
Yeah, probably. I think. I'd have to look at it to be sure. I promise I would. Do you want me to look at it? I'll just put it in position.
No one else is reading it out loud.
We already read it.
How is that funny? You didn't circle anything.
yeah, that was perfect.
How? It is small, tiny, big.
I don't think you say why.
I do.
Say why, but it won't be right.
Everybody done? You should be.
I know.
Alrighty. Oh, right.
And there's a lot I
It's fine. Take another minute. Need another minute. You're still working.
Yeah, I will.
Once you're done that, which I assume the people who are talking are, Take- some of the things you circled, approximately 50% of what you circled, try to start fixing some of those things. Oh, you did it. Good.
Like I don't think it's 1%.
All right, once you've fixed those things, at the bottom, brainstorm 3 sources that you could use to support what your paragraph is about. You maybe don't know exactly the title, or you don't know exactly this, that, or the other thing, but try to come up with just 3 things I could go, and I could add a quotation from this, probably, to support this. Does that make sense? So if you're writing on sports, ESPN.com, stuff like that.
Well, mine is just an introduction.
But I said not to write an introduction.
What you said.
I said write an argumentative paragraph. Is it an argumentative introduction?
Well, I sort of made it.
You like your readers by arguing with them?
No. Like I did. Like I had like an introduction, like few sentences, and then I sort of discussed reasons. Sort of like a shorter version.
Like a short essay. All right. Well, that's fine. You can still find the sources that you can put in something like that.
I would say no. That's a good question.
Do you mean like actually bookstore sentences across it? Or
Any kind of a resource.
But see, mine's personal to high school. Yeah, that's true.
So you could talk to another high schooler and get an
There you go.
experience to support what you did. And there's actually a remarkably large amount of things written on the high school experience. So
Really?
psychologists. So you could say I would go and look up psychologists' evaluations of high schoolers. You can even do a regular science journal and talk about brain development of the high schooler and how, because you guys know that your brains are developing at the same rate as babies. Like these two massive growth spurts in your brain. Then it's in high school, and that's why you have impaired judgment, and that's why we don't let you drink and stuff like that. Anyway, but you could get into something like that and talk about how these things, say like how a course like that maybe would say, when you think about everything that's going on in your brain, it makes this, whatever you've written on, all that much harder. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know any Christian education people?
Do I know any Christian education people?
Like big Christian education people?
Yeah, like
There's some really big names that I can't think of right now.
you're thinking that just for Christian education? Yeah.
Not necessarily classical or anything.
Right, not particularly classical. Some people I've the authors are leaving me. I guess I could get you a title though, right?
Yeah.
Why Learned Men Murder?
Oh, that's
It's
the same
by
one.
somebody, David somebody. Of course, the AC American Association of Christian Schools is the ACSI, right? That would be a good resource. They publish all kinds of different articles. What's another really good one? C.S. Lewis has actually got some really cool stuff on Christian education. But that's the one my mom read. I think it was by James Dobson. It's something like train them up or train them in the ways they shall go. It was some quote from Proverbs. That would be another good one. All right. So once you have a couple of sources, all I do want to know from each of you is I want you to give me a grade on how unified your paragraph is. Does everything relate to it? If every single thing relates to it, then it's an A. If most of it, maybe 80%, there's a few red herrings here or there, whatever, that would be a B. If you think, maybe about half of it's related, sort of fits together, and it should be, then a C. And then a D if it's not so good. You can give yourself an F if you didn't write a paragraph, but I know everybody did, so no one's
I
getting
think
an
I
F.
given you more unified and finished well, which I didn't.
Excellent. All right,
So I'm gonna give
Andy,
myself a
what would
B.
you give yourself?
I would give myself a 90 since everything is like really together and it's
90.
like really small.
So not an A, but a 90. You got it. All right. Josh, did you grade yourself?
I did, but I don't really have much other stuff besides support. So
Support.
so it's not.
Maybe a B minus, B plus, somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
like as in there's not much like fulfillment. You say it's
Yeah. But that's a good thing.
I know, but there's not like that.
But there's not enough. Right. Okay. All right. So somewhere in the B probably. All right.
You feel kind of arrogant saying an A.
Hey, no, that's all right. Hey, earn your A. Be proud.
I would say A.
Okay. See, there you go.
Because it all
Yeah,
fits together.
It all is
Yeah.
unified. Alrighty. Bethany, what do you think?
I don't really know. I'll just go to B.
A B. So you feel like it's pretty unified.
Pretty.
Good. Very good.
I feel like I'm
Oh,
not reading, but it's
okay.
okay.
Sorry.
I feel like it's unified, but it's just not. It's not a strong paragraph.
Just
It's
not
kind
good
of-
paragraph.
Yeah, it's
But I'm
not.
only grading you on unity.
It's
The
not-
rubric is unity.
Yeah.
All the rest of it doesn't matter. So as far as unity goes, you would give yourself an A.
B.
A B. Okay. Very good. Anne Marie, now you're.
I'm gonna go with a B.
Okay.
I didn't give my explanation why. I didn't really finish well, and it was like kind of unified.
Okay.
So a B, we're not gonna say where on the
Where on the B scale? But somewhere in there. Okay. Lexi.
Well, Anne Marie said it was good, but I didn't have a source, so I'm getting a C.
You're getting a
But
C.
I found a source.
But I'm only grading you on unity. So is it unified? It all relates. Okay, good. David.
I would say unity wise an A. But if we were grading on other things, it would probably be a B.
It's like my rubric that I use for you guys, like
Yes.
the content and
Yeah.
the grammar. It's amazing. If you do too, everybody's grades get much happier.
Should be a D.
It'll be a D, but if you average that with an A, then you end up with like a B minus. So that works. Anyway, very good. Definite A.
Wow.
With no apologies for arrogance whatsoever. It's
Wait,
like,
I'm
this
gonna-
was unified.
Like no personal pronoun, so we're all good.
No,
But
wow.
what about unity? I mean, are you
Yeah,
thinking about the
yes,
unity of your
yes,
paragraph?
of
That's all I care about. Okay, good.
I was
Unity
just
and
saying that
voice.
because that's what I got wrong in my last paper.
Mrs. Fawcett, you
I was like,
need a
voice.
voice.
Yes, you still need to have a voice. That's true.
I'm gonna be the judge.
That's true. Oh, I see what you're saying. If you had mixed pronouns, then it wouldn't be.
That's true.
Wait.
Melon.
The inside 95, I think most of it was really unified, and there's
Got
one that I
another
had to take out, so.
All right, we got the two in front that are giving me specific numbers. I like that.
What about Elsa?
Round of applause
Elsa, let us
for
know.
everybody.
Email what grade you give yourself, and we'll share it with the class.
Wait, I didn't
Alrighty.
hear what you said.
Okay, so in my very disunified lesson plan, we have reached our second goal, which was to help make sure each of you leave with an understanding that every paragraph you write from now on in this big wide world should look something like what we just covered. Alrighty? They should look like that. Try to make them, but even letters, or we don't do letters, emails, should have this concept of, like, I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to introduce it, include it. That is the goal. And no matter where you end up in life, whether you are in the business world writing proposals, or you are in an academic situation where you're writing papers, or you're even a stay-at-home mom who has to help their children write papers. These are the kinds of precepts that you use across the board in any situation of life. I have no transition other than what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks is something that is not universally needed in life. This is going to be homework. Sit home.
This is our homework?
So what is our
Josh,
actual,
should I give you one again? I'm sorry.
this Foster,
Yeah, the people.
before we,
Yeah, we're
what is our papers due?
Oh, yes.
I've heard so many different things.
They were due today, but if they aren't done, bring them next week.
Wait,
Yeah.
you said no homework over break.
No,
Yeah.
but she,
You
Oh.
said to push the paper back.
That's right, I forgot, and I didn't
Yeah,
write that
you
down in my book. So next week then, that's fine.
so
Wait, what's the
Um,
paper?
the justice final from like a
This-
month ago.
The 12 Angry Men, did I give you a rewrite on
You
that?
never gave us them back.
I haven't given them back yet.
You never gave, you said they were due April 21st.
Yes, but I haven't given them back, so they can't be.
No, we haven't given them to you.
No, we
12
haven't.
Angry Men paper?
Wait,
No, we
what?
didn't.
I think
No,
we
I
did.
haven't.
We gave them a rough
yours.
draft.
No,
You have a
the
rough
12
draft,
Angry
but we
Men is
haven't.
our final. 12 Angry
I'm
Men.
the only one that gave you
Justice.
my final.
You gave me your final for 12 Angry Men?
But
Okay.
12
everyone
Angry
else is.
Men.
There's
I
the rough
gave
drafts,
you-
I thought.
You still have our rough drafts that we turned into you.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
at
I-
least we have mine.
Okay, did I give
Because
you that?
I turned my final in. I turned my final in early.
So
but you
the
said
one
they
that I
were
have
due.
for you is your final.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that was in the rough draft. So the finals that I have in my possession are your two.
Yeah.
Everybody else still is waiting on comments from me, I think.
No.
Because I was focusing on
This
it.
is my rough draft.
Okay,
I think
so
I
you
have
gotta turn this in with your
Yeah.
final. That's why I was confused.
I think I turned in my,
I have yours.
I
Yes, from your rough draft.
I got 6
That's why I was trying
Okay.
I have my rough draft, so I think we handed it back. At least some of them.
So then I need to change some due dates because I don't want you to be doing what I'm just assigning you now and the papers. And what I'm assigning you now needs to be done for next week or we'll have nothing to do. So if you haven't finished your final draft of 12 Angry Men, you can't because I still need your comments, right? Is there anybody not in that situation?
I
I'm
have
not in
the
that
rough draft.
situation, but I do know when I'm in that. Because I have.
No, that's fine.
My rough.
I don't even have your rough draft, right?
Remember, you gave it back to me because I said not to read it because it was
That's
terrible.
right. But you do want me to make comments on the
I
draft?
do.
Okay.
I'm hopefully going to have the rough on Friday. That's
Sounds
what
good. Great.
Wait,
Okay.
I have this thing, but I don't even know if it's like my final or my rough draft.
I think this is your rough draft. I don't think I've proofread one for you yet. So Josh, one thing we do that, you took Mrs. Trice's class, I think. We do a similar thing where I read a draft, make comments, and then they make a,
Wait, I think you gave me comments.
You did? I did? then this is your final. I need your comments with your final.
That's when I will.
Yeah, my comment.
Okay.
So I think this was my
Okay, let me have that. Thank you. Yes, that's
Okay.
helpful. Otherwise, I take off for things I
Conference
shouldn't.
call on my table after class.
Okay, conference call after class, and I'm sorry we're late.
Wait, so what's our homework?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I need to just go over the homework. All right, the homework for next week is what's on this paper. Alrighty,
Homework.
you can pick a fiction subgroup, poetry, short story, or novella. Do enough research and reading to understand what you're going to write. Don't just sit down and write a poem. Learn about the kind of poem you want to write. Alrighty. For example, I love sonnets. They're a lot of fun to write because it's kind of like a math puzzle and words. Once you have something that you feel comfortable to share with the class, bring it, and you need to bring 7 copies because it's going to be shared. So make sure whatever you write, you're comfortable with. Now, if you want to do something you've already written, that is okay. That will make it easier for you. But no papers will be due next week because I only have a little bit of homework time from you. So don't do both because it'll be too much homework time.
So it says
Uh,
first draft, so it's like an actual paper.
So
This? No, we're doing it next week.
It says first draft is due next week.
Yeah.
So it's
I know
like a
exactly.
paper.
It's something we're going to discuss if you're going to make changes.
How long do we put it?
It's up to you, but a novella is usually, it can be anywhere from 7 to 20 pages, really. And,
Yeah, because short story could be.
Did you do my set?
five
Yeah.
pages.
but a short story can also just be a page.
Sometimes.
Alrighty, and then let's go ahead and have all papers due the following week.
All papers,
All?
like all
Yeah.
papers.
I've already written one.
Well, there's only 2, but the Satan one, that may need to be a,
Are you gonna have our rough draft for the Calvin Humans back?
Yes.
And then our finals will be due on
the day of the exam.
So,
Kobe.
No.
conference call, this right, there's a sleepless night, and then it's no.
Yes. I'll just give you, since you're so far ahead, well done. I'll just give you your rough draft with comments like Zane has to put in here.
Like lab, you see me talk about lab. I'm good at mine.
Yeah. No, it is just like the final, I just haven't given you your topic yet, because I have to get it.
Yeah, like, are you set for lunch?
Once I know, it's the same concept where you'll come in with a card, outline, quotes, whatever you want to use, and then